Hello everyone. Today we're talking about network security. We're going to walk through like why it's such a big deal, or what kinds of threats are out there, the defenses we can use, and even some real examples from the news. And here is our agenda. First, we will quickly explain like what network security actually is, and then we will look at why it's important in today's world. And after that, we will go through the most common threats like you will hear about. And later in the presentation, we will cover tools like firewalls, VPNs, and encryption, and also check out a real case study. And finally, we will end with some best practices and a quick summary. All right, what is a network security? So what do we mean by network security? In simple terms, it's like protecting information and systems from cyber attacks. It's not just about like buying fancy software. It also includes hardware, company policies, and even how much people know about online safety. And the core idea is that something called the CIA triad, which is confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Confidentiality means like keeping data private, like your password and bank infos. And integrity means like making sure that data isn't changed or masked. And availability is about keeping systems up and running when people need them. And if one of these three breaks down, like security fails, for example, if a hacker leaks the data, confidentiality is gone. And if they change the records, like integrity is lost. And if they shut down a server, we can say that the ability is gone. So all of these three are equally important. Okay. So the next thing is the importance of network security. Um, will be probably ask like why is network security such a big deal? For now, like cybercrime is getting crazy expensive. Like, it is estimated to cost more than $10 trillion a year by 2025, and we can say that that is more than the GDP of a lot of countries. And these attacks like don't just hit the big companies, but they also hit the normal peoples like us. So thinking about when like Yahoo got hacked back in 2013, we can see that 3 billion accounts were affected, and that is almost like half of the world. So and all the Equifax breach in 2017, where 147 million people had personal infos like social security numbers stolen. So once something like this happens, it is not just like money being lost. People's trust is destroyed, and companies' reputation collapse, and sometimes governments even step in. And that's why every business and like even individuals have to take care about the network security. And the next slide, I'm gonna talk about the common network threats. uh, so let's go through some of the main threats like malware, like viruses and ransomware, like they can mess up and log your whole system until you pay money for it. And also like phishing emails, and you will probably got a mail before like click this link message. That is like literally tricking people into giving away passwords. And denial of service attacks flood servers so it crashes and no one can use it. And next thing could be insider threats, which are like employees with access like misuses. So sometimes it could be by an accident, or sometimes it could be on purpose. So we have to very take care about this. And next, is advanced persistent threats. These are long-term attacks, like usually by organized groups or even governments. And man in the middle attack are when someone secretly sits between two parties and reading or even like changing the messages being said without knowing by both other person. And so like the point here is that threats are everywhere, and they come in all shapes and sizes. And that's why like we don't just rely on one tool. We need to stay aware and also like take layers or defenses working together to keep all of our networks to be more safe.
Okay. So, hello, and today I'll be talk about the security mechanism first. So, security mechanism can be like fall into four different areas, which are prevention, detection, response, and recovery. So, first of all, prevention. I will talk about the prevention first. Prevention includes about the firewalls, VPN, and encryption. Firewall block like unauthorized traffic and VPN secure remote access and encryption protects like data confidentiality. So for the second one, this detection. Detection use like intrusion detection system, which is IDS, and also the monitoring the dashboards. And the third one is about the response. Response include about like patching, incident like response plan, and some kind of backups. And for the last stage is about the recovery. Recovery is restoring from backups and activating the like disaster recovery plan and learning from like incident. So for this kind of four measure, and no single measure is enough, and so they must work together as a like a layered defense. It might be these are the four main security mechanisms. So for another slide, I will be explaining about the firewall. A firewall, which is what is a firewall first? A firewall acts as like a barrier between the network, like it blocks the unauthorized access. There are like three main types of firewalls, which are the packet filtering firewalls and stateful firewalls and next generation firewalls. For the stateful packet filtering firewall, like check the headers, and for the stateful firewall tracks active sessions, and for the next generation firewalls like go furthers, like inspecting application and blocking like sophisticated attack, and firewalls can be described as they are like gatekeepers of a secure network. So this is why firewall is very crucial. And next slide. Okay, I will to this slide is about the IPS and IDS. Well, the first one is about IDS first. I will explain about the IDS first. IDS is known as the intrusion detection system, or it is about to monitor the traffic and alert the administrators to like suspicious activity. Like it is about to alert, and another one is intrusion prevention system, also known as IPS. It is about not only detect but also it can block like malicious traffic in the real time. But think for example, we think about of IDS as a like security camera. It can see but we cannot do anything. We cannot stop the intruders. And IPS is like a guard who is not only see but also it can stop them. So together they can provide like strong visibility and protection for the network and everything. Yeah. So this is about the IDS and IPS. Well, and another next slide. Okay, in this slide, I will explain about the VPN. VPN can known as the Virtual Private Network, and it creates a secure encrypted connection over the public network. This let this lets users to safely access the private networks remotely. VPN protocol include about the PPTP, L2TP, and IPSCC, and OpenVPN. And OpenVPN and WireGuard VPNs are the needed for secure remote work and safe browsing on public Wi-Fi, and also the bypassing censorship. The main benefit is that we can confidentiality and privacy for our communication, and for communication it can ensure confidentiality. So yeah, this is all about the virtual private cloud. And another slide. After the VPN is explained, this is another critical part is about the encryption and authentication. Encryption it can be considered as like confidentiality by scrambling data using algorithms like AES, IRC, and TLS. Even if data is like intercept, it is unreadable. Authentication ensure only trusted users and system can connect. A method methods include like password, multi-factor authentication, and digital certificate. Combined like encryption and authentication, it can also secure and verify like communication as well as yeah. So this about the encryption and authentication.
Okay, now I will continue with the case study of real-life attacks on the network security. So this is the case study about the WannaCry, which is in 2017. So in May 2017, the WannaCry ransomware spread worldwide, and, and it exploiting a vulnerability in Unpatched Windows systems, and it affected more than 200,000 computers in over 150 countries. So hospitals, companies, and governments were disrupted by this attack, and the victims had their data encrypted and were asked to pay rent for ransom in Bitcoin. So the lesson learned here in this case is that failing to update and patch the systems regularly leads to these kinds of network vulnerabilities and make them like, easy targets to massive attacks like these. So in the next slide, we can see on the left side, we can see the uh, complete timeline of the WannaCry ransomware defense. We can see it started at the March 14, 2017, where the Microsoft Security Bulletin, and this leads to this ends at May 12, 2017, which is about the Cisco umbrella. And on the right side, we can see the countries which are hit in the initial hours of this WannaCry cyber attack. And we can see like almost every developing countries in the world have impacted by this attack globally. So in the next slide, I will talk about the best practices for network security. So here are best practices for strong security. Use strong and unique passwords. Using complex and unique passwords for all network accounts, including the user accounts and administrator privileges, is a good option. And another thing is keeping regular updates. Ensuring all network devices and software are up to date with the latest security patches and updates is also another good practice to uh, keep our network security safe. And next thing is using the help of firewalls, ITS, IPS, and VPNs. So they are to secure the network traffic by filtering the malicious activity, detecting and prevention intrusions, and encrypting remote connections to provide sensitive data and maintain safe communication channels. The next step is to enable the multi-factor authentication, MFA. So this is like kind of adding an extra layer of protection by requiring more than just a password to access accounts. And this helps to prevent unauthorized access even if the login credentials of us are stolen. And lastly, the security awareness of us. So educating users about the common security threats and best practices like these, it's to promote the safe online behavior and protect network resources as well. So these are all the best practices for network security. And so for the summary, a network security protects data, systems, and services from threats. It is essential in protecting the modern organizations. And about the CIA triad, confidentiality, integrity, and availability, they defines the goals of this network security. And the common threats include like malware, phishing, DDoS, and insider threats. So defense mechanisms like firewalls, IDS, IPS, VPNs, encryption, and authentication are also essential for keeping the network security safe. And the case study WannaCry also shows the dangers of weak security. And we also learn about the best practices that the technology and user awareness should work together to keep the network security safe. So it is a shared responsibility between the technology and the users. So here are the references for our research. And thank you everyone for listening.